Another lesson in terms of responding to emergency, I believe, is sticking to what you know and not getting distracted. At West Bank Gaza, we are very good at the provision of pharmaceuticals, medical disposables, and medical equipment. We have large food security programs, including distribution of fresh vegetables. We didn't allow ourselves to be pulled off track into education, which we don't happen to do here, rubble removal, shelter, because we don't have the horses, we don't have the staff, we don't have the knowledge. So stick to what you know, and by sticking to what you know, you help avoid doing harm. It's important in an emergency to remember your staff. They're impacted too. They'll be tired. You'll be tired. Call on others to help you. We had wonderful assistance from our RMU and from the emergency team in Geneva, and we had great moral support from around the world. Ask for it, filter out the disaster tourists, but get yourself some help. And good luck, everybody. Bye.
As you can see, Martha has numerous tips to share with us. And if you want to read the full article, teasers in the magazine, along with several other articles on emergency. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Sarah Arneson, who's going to lead us into our discussion on gender equity and diversity.
So this slide here just represents a tidbit of the data that Ubora collects on gender equity and diversity. And as you can see from this slide, a lot has been done in the last 10 years in this area, but there's still a lot more to do. So in our first issue of Ubora the magazine, we feature an article that was written with input from Doris Bartel, who is the director of the new gender unit. And the article talks about the gender working group. The gender unit was created out of one of the 6 recommendations that came out of the gender working group. And in addition, Allison Burden, who was a member of the gender working group, has now joined Global Support Services as the Senior Advisor of Gender Equity and Diversity. I was able to speak briefly with Allison over the phone to discuss the future of GED at CARE, and I'd like to share with you a little bit of that conversation.
Hi, Allison. Thanks so much for being with us today. In Ubora the magazine, Doris states that gender equity and diversity efforts programmatically and organizationally go hand in hand. Could you explain why this is so important?
First, if we are to achieve our vision and mission and have impact upon the lives of women and girls, we need to understand and be able to act upon the things that stop them from coming out of poverty. At the simplest level, this might just mean we need local female staff in our programs. But it also means that our leadership should understand and shift power relations, because CARE will need to influence the broader patterns in society that perpetuate dynamics of exclusion and inequality. Evidence shows that gender equity and diversity efforts in CARE improve our responsiveness to an increasingly diverse world and improve relations with communities. Second, it's about our credibility and legitimacy. If we don't do what we say, we might not be trusted by our staff or organizations that we want to work with to achieve our mission. Finally, evidence suggests that managing a diverse workforce well can contribute to increased staff retention, it can increase the organization's ability to cope with change, and expand the creativity of the organization. In fact, research indicates that the most successful organizations are those that encourage diverse views, creativity, and space for staff to innovate.
Thanks so much. We are also aware that you've been working on a new gender equity and diversity strategy. Could you briefly elaborate on the vision of this strategy and what it will take to achieve that vision?
Yes. The strategy was developed with input from around the CARE world. It's exciting because it lays out a vision of CARE being a place where diverse people flourish, where we welcome, embrace, and enrich the gender equity and diversity of our staff, whose perspectives and experiences will allow us to achieve excellence in our work to eliminate global poverty and social injustice. How can we achieve this? Well, first, through leadership. because we know that it's practically impossible to make inclusion work without support from the highest level in the organization. Second, we should be coherent in our efforts, and my answer to your first question indicates why this is so important. Our gender equity and diversity work goes hand in hand with our programmatic and external relations work. Third, we need to be much better at collecting, analyzing, and using the information we have in the organization, whether this be the wonderful lessons learned in the Strategic Impact Inquiry, the data that the Ubora system provides, or the human resource information systems. Lastly, we need to communicate better about this work. We need to be giving space. We need to be energized, excited, and motivated about it. We need to discover how working on gender equity and diversity in the organization can motivate us individually, can provide us with great learning opportunities, and can enhance our working together and make CARE a really wonderful place to work. If we line up these 4 strategic priorities, then the tactical work will be easy.
Thanks to Allison. From HR up to talk a little bit about talent management and its relationship to DEB and FY11.
I don't have the beautiful accent that Allison. So I'm really excited about the work that we're going to be doing around talent management in the coming year, and I'm excited for a number of reasons. First, we have Allison Burden on staff now, and so we can really start connecting the work we're doing around GED with the work that we're doing around talent management. So I'm excited about that. Number 2, we have a new Senior Advisor of Talent Management. Is she here? Marina? Marina? If everybody doesn't, Marina, do you want to stand up? Marina is our new Senior Advisor of Talent Management. She's replacing Mari Fort, and she'll start her job October 1st. So we're really excited. We've had a hiatus. Mari left in January, and Marina's starting in October, so we've had a little bit of a hiatus. We're very excited to get back to work. And then we're really excited, equally excited about Marina. Wanda is joining us in Human Resources and will be working in Talent Management. And so we're hoping that she brings all the wonderful energy and creativeness and communication that she's honed in Ubora team to Human Resources. So we're very excited about that. We have heard your feedback that we have not done as good a job as we can around communicating what talent management is, what does it mean to individual employees, what does it mean for your career development, what does it mean for your transition within CARE. We've heard that feedback loud and clear, and so we believe that with Marina and Allison and LaWanda and the entire Human Resources team focusing on this, we'll really be able to bring the talent management work at CARE to a new level. So we're really excited about that. Just one quick thing I want to talk to you about. I think you all know that every year we have a process that we call staff. There's a rotation that goes on in country offices. Country directors, ACDs, they transition from position to position every few years. And we have been encouraging more and more and more that we really want people who are national staff to be applying for those leadership positions within country offices. This year we're really excited that we're going to support those people more in their application process. We've got interview coaches. If any of you are interested in being an interview coach for somebody who's applying for a staff position, you can let me know. But people will help them get ready for the interview and help them get ready and prepare for the interview that they're going to have to apply for a senior leadership position. And Allison has been really helping us think through that. So we're really excited about talent management and what the future holds for talent management and what it will mean to all of you.
Thank you.
HR's talent management strategy. We do have an article also in the magazine written by HR. And I'm actually now going to take a minute to highlight some more of the stories about GED that are in our Ubora magazine and different ways that CEOs are tackling some of these issues. So a great story, if you guys aren't familiar with it already, comes to us from Burundi. In 2003, CARE Burundi took notice of the fact that their senior staff was made up mostly of men, mostly from one ethnic group, and mostly from one part of the country. So in this discussion, they decided that their first step needed to be revising their job descriptions and their recruitment policies. And they decided that due to their country's history that it was really important to start targeting recruitment in refugee camps and in other countries. Sorry, I'm not very good. And then also in the magazine you can read about Peru. You'll discover that Peru does talent reviews, or not talent reviews, I'm sorry, does reviews of their balance of males and females every quarter, which is more than Ubora requires, which is great. And they're also very conscious to use inclusive language instead of just defaulting to the masculine plural that's customarily used in Spanish. And finally, you can read about how South Africa, Lesotho, is using their GED policies to help stay competitive against government jobs. So make sure you get a copy of the magazine before you leave, and I'm now going to turn it over to Sarah, who's going to talk a little bit about customer service.
Thanks. So this is just this is going to be the last kind of performance area that we're going to highlight today in this meeting. There's a lot more performance areas that Ubora measures and reports on, but these were just a couple of the highlights that we pulled out just for the purposes of this meeting. And that is customer service. So we've talked a lot about some of the qualitative and quantitative information that Ubora surfaces and analyzes and reports on. One of these is the customer service survey. So it's not actually measuring the results of our performance, but about how we actually do our work as people, whether we're doing so in line with core values and being respectful of each other in our interactions. There's a survey that's sent out twice a year that is kind of a 360 evaluative process of country offices, regional management units, and U.S. units. And I don't know, senior leaders are responsible for providing the assessments and then actually receiving the ratings and comments back from others on the quality of their customer service. And if your director has not involved you in that process, I encourage you to ask them about it, because the comments that are provided through this survey are very helpful in letting us know ways that we can improve our interactions with each other, little things that we may not be aware of. So I encourage you all to kind of review those comments and make improvements based on them. So I was thinking about this the other night, and I fell asleep, and I had a dream about a really odd-looking man with a very strange accent.
Yes, I understand. Of course. Call me later. Bye-bye. What is this? Another email? With another request? With another due date? Zoot the Lord! I am so frustrated. I have gotten 3 emails today asking for new things from Atlanta. And I don't know if any of these groups are talking to each other. One from one group saying now. One from another group, now. Another group, now. It's just enough to make me pull my hair out. Ooh, what is this? The Ubora Customer Service Survey. This is one way I can give my feedback and say that these requests, they need to be better coordinated. We do not have the time to put the thought in that we want to put in. Ubora. What shall I tell them? I will go meet with my staff to see if this is the key feedback that they would like to give as well. Yes, it is just as I thought. They share my concerns and would like to give the same feedback. I will write to Ubora and ask them to share this with those at headquarters.